Hi all. This video is basically on the context of circling, but more specifically on this question of what is or isn't circling. And I'm going to make a bold claim on reality here. I think that circling can be a whole number of things, and what it is or isn't depends on the context that you set for it and what your intention for it is. I'll give a couple of examples of possible contexts. One could be, okay, we're going to birthday circle Anna. And the intent of this circle is to notice how we're impacted when we're with Anna. What is the feeling that comes up of being with her, distinct from how it might be with anyone else? And we're going to practice sharing that and staying in connection with her. And you're also welcome to bring curiosity about her inner experience. So that kind of circle with the context that you just set is probably going to include a lot of impact sharing, a lot of present moments, and a lot of body sensation. That's one way to do circling. There's another thing, which could be, hey guys, we're going to circle Anna. And the intent of this is we're going to get as fully as possible what it's like to be her, what it's like in her world. So I invite you to ask questions to get more deep, like, okay, Anna, how is it to say that? What comes up for you? What are you curious about? And really notice if we feel like we're learning something new about her. And you can also refer that back to your own life. How would this be for me? So that's a context that invites more kind of cognitive empathy. If the first is kind of affective empathy, which I talk about in a past video, affective is feeling with, and cognitive is thinking about how it would be for the other. It's basically my intent in the first circle is, are we feeling with each other? And if that's happening, it's, circling in the way I've said. And if it's not circling. And maybe I say, hey, let's return to how are we feeling right now with each other? Second circle, it's more the intent is, am I getting something new about the circlee? And that's what I might be checking in with. Hey, do we think we're understanding something new about her? Not just feeling with her, but getting something new. Those are both totally valid types of circling in my world. Another type might be, we're going to follow these principles. We're going to trust our experience. We're going to own our experience. We're going to stay at the level of sensation. We're going to commit to connection. So principles like this, I'm basically saying what values I'm holding for the practice. And then throughout the circle, I'm checking, are these values being held? Now I'll say something else. That wasn't actually a very good context, because as a participant, especially a new one, if I'm listening to that, I don't know what those things mean. How do I trust my experience? Does that mean that I believe everything that I think, even if my brain tells me that, I'm an idiot and I shouldn't talk right now? Is that trusting my experience? Or is trusting my experience, that I want to get up and throw a chair? Or is it, giving some clarity, trust my experience, right now, I've been feeling like speaking fast because I'm excited. And I'm going to go with that. I'm going to trust that there's value and benefit in that. And I'm going to see how fully I can reveal it. Can I connect with you? Can I commit to our connection, even as I'm fully going with what I'm feeling? And I'm going with the sensation that I'm feeling. The excitement comes with this, breath and intensity in my chest and smile on my face. And I'm starting to feel kind of playful, mischievous. And if I trust that, maybe I do stand up and walk across the circle to you. Maybe I start just smiling at you. Maybe I invite you into the connection. Maybe I see how it is for you to be with me. That's the commitment. So basically, if I give examples of what it actually looks like to do these things, and even follow the aliveness in myself of can I be truthful about what I'm experiencing and explaining right now, that is a lot more powerful than just saying there's this principle and this principle and this principle. It just becomes words. So that's another kind of circling. I have seen people set context for circles where they say, okay, the intent of this circle is that you get insight on something about yourself. I had this happen in some certification circles that I was leading last weekend. And it was I was like, okay, so do I certify this person? Is this circling for them to say that, circlee, I want you to get insight? And I actually came down on, I think it is. as long as the circler is staying with what's here, like not pushing for, okay, like what do you get from that thing that you're saying? Like what do you get from feeling anxiety? Like what's the benefit to you? Like that's more of a coaching question. It's kind of like guiding somebody's thoughts towards a possibility when like maybe they're actually not feeling like hopeful or beneficial from this thing. They're just feeling sad and despairing about it. And I might hold a context in my mind that what I want is for the circler to get insight. And I'm checking on that, like, hey, circler, are you getting anything new about yourself from this circle? Okay, how do you feel about that not being? How is it for us to be with you in that space of like, you know, we have shared reality that I want something and you want something and it's not happening. So it's like, do you have the willingness to explore moment by moment what is here? And like, you can hold a context of insight. So I guess what I'm saying is there are many different ways to do circling and many different contexts that you can hold, as long as you're being fully with what is here and fundamentally coming from that and trying as much as possible to be non-assumptive, non-judgmental, and really curious. And two, you're holding to the context that you set, like both modeling in your way of being and, you know, redirecting participants or even yourself if, you know, there are shares happening that aren't in congruence with the context that you set. And making sure that you open and close the space. Like these are kind of essential things. And beyond that, circling kind of is whatever you want to make of it, whether it's sitting in a sensual, spiritual, connected space together, whether it's feeling closer as a community, whether it's getting insight, whether it's mediating a conflict. It's just what context you decide to set and hold.